By following and combining these simple tips, you will have all the knowledge to enjoy a long and successful FC25 Youth Academy career mode. I've already made a video on the new setup options, but just to summarise, Youth Academy player quality should be set to full potential. This will allow us to view players' full potential overall when playing Youth Academy tournaments. And the second important option, scouting speed should always be set to instant. This makes players' value visible on the initial scout report. Appointing good coaches in all four departments, goalkeeper, defence, midfield and attack, will shorten youth players' development plan length. As you can see with these two Youth Academy goalkeeper examples, one from 5 week to 3 week and the other from 10 to 7 weeks. Every new career mode we are assigned random players to our Youth Academy. Now since the removal of the homegrown talent, usually these players are rubbish. However, it is worth checking to see if you have any gems. You might just strike lucky. Scouts are measured using two factors: experience, which means they can scout more players, and judgment, meaning they can scout a higher quality of player. So ideally a 5-star experience and a 5-star judgment scout is recommended, but they do not come cheap. It is very budget dependent. Get the best scouts you can afford with your finances. And if you have money to burn, you can always hire and fire scouts until a 5-star one appears. EA hide their top 9 nations in plain sight in the search players filters. EA's top 9 are Argentina, Brazil, England, France, Germany, Italy, Netherlands, Portugal and Spain. And the regions that these countries fall into cost the most per month to scout. As statistically you are more likely to find the best players here, that being South America, North, South and Central Europe. Now don't get me wrong, if you're patient enough you can find good players in every nation, just not as often. Once you've decided where to send your scouts, it's now time to give them their instructions. So firstly, the length of trip doesn't really matter. However, when it comes to position, by the law of averages, you are less likely to get a good result if you are too specific in your search. Therefore, only specify one position at this stage. Extra positions can always be added via a development plan when in the Youth Academy. And apply the exact same principles to player roles. Don't specify a role at this stage. Again, these can be added via a development plan when signed to the Youth Academy. Always leave a few days in between scout reports returning. This gives time to analyse results from each report individually. This will also make the next few tips run a lot more smoothly. Always save your game the day before each scout report returns. This gives a perfect reload point should your report or reports not include any sign-worthy Youth Academy players. After saving your game, advance to receive your scout report. If no good players are returned, simply exit without saving and reload the save from the day before the scout report arrived. Repeat this process as many times as necessary until you find a good Youth Academy player. If you've scouted one of the top nations and regions, it shouldn't take too long for a good player to appear. But how at first glance do we spot a good Youth Academy player? Step 1 is overall range. The second of the two numbers should be a minimum of high 60s. Step 2 is the potential range. The second of the two numbers should always be 94. And then finally step 3, which is only visible when scouting speed is set to instant in the career mode setup menu, is value, which should always be over 1 million. If you find a player that ticks all 3 boxes, sign them to your Youth Academy. If you need a specific position fill in quickly, whether that be for a youth tournament or for your squad in general, send all 3 scouts looking for the same position and have reports returning on the same day. Obviously, save your game prior to the scout reports returning as per the previous process. This way, you will have more players to choose from and can fill that position quickly. And here we have another perfect example of overall range, potential range and value. Combined with development plans, playing your academy players in youth tournaments will help grow their attributes and in time upgrade their overall. And providing you chose full potential in the career mode setup menu, we can also view a youth academy player's full potential overall during tournaments. To do this, during a match, hit pause and head to performance. In the top left corner, we can see a player's full potential overall, which is a great way to filter youth academy players into the keep or release pile. As mentioned in the scout instructions section, once players are signed to your youth academy, we can use development plans to help them level up, whether that be a new role or a new position. Keep an eye on your players' development plans and start a new one as soon as the last one expires. If you don't need these players in the senior team straight away, keep them in the academy for as long as possible. Long as possible can be determined in one of two ways, either until their potential is definite, as in this case here between 91 and 94, which makes him definite potential to be special, or until we receive the email saying the youth academy player is unsettled. A player's potential is protected in the youth academy, but subject to dynamic potential variations when promoted through to the senior team. When promoted through to the senior team, a youth player's potential status is only visible if they are above 60 overall and will remain visible until their 22nd birthday. So we know this guy is an exciting prospect at minimum, but he's showing at Club Sins because his overall is only 59. Up until FC24, I always recommended loaning promoted youth academy players out, as it could upgrade both overall and potential. However, in FC24, loaning players out prevented playstyles from upgrading it to a playstyle plus. That remains to be seen if that is still the case in FC25. So by combining these very simple tips, you now have the knowledge to enjoy a long and successful Youth Academy career mode in FC25. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please remember to tune in next time, but until then, it's FCG out.